Alright, so this is my 2015 Street Glide Special. And when I first thought about buying this bike, there were a lot of reviews online from people who've had tons of different Harleys. So I'm more of a newer rider, so I figured it'd be cool to kind of show a different perspective. Why don't we quickly go over the things that I'm not too happy about, which is a pretty short list, to be honest. There's this little pocket in here where you can kind of keep your phone. Hopefully you can see that. You can actually fit an iPhone 6 Plus in here if you take out the little foam tray that comes with it. So pretty cool there. However, it doesn't really snap shut. That's the thing that really kind of bugs me. I mean, if you close it, it's fine, but like if you take off really fast and you have your phone in there or something else really heavy, it can kind of pop open. It's only happened to me a couple of times, but I just try not to keep my phone in there. It does come with a little USB in there, which is pretty cool. See that little guy right there? The other thing that I'm not the happiest about is kind of the size of the storage. It looks bigger than you may think because I have a helmet in here, but this isn't a DOT helmet. I just keep it in there for rare occasions I happen to leave and don't have my helmet on me for some reason. To be honest, that's pretty much the dislikes right there. The bike is a great ride. Actually, to kind of put one more thing on that list, the stock pipes, they sound a lot like a sewing machine. And that's something you'll hear a lot from a lot of the other guys. It drove me nuts. I only made it like 3 weeks until I just had to splurge and buy some pipes. I actually just did some slip-ons. They're actually a really affordable pipe. It was $175. Pretty much the best deal you're going to find anywhere. The sound isn't too great, but at least I can hear it, and other people can hear it, which is good for safety and whatnot. One of the things that they added on the 2015 is this little vent here that you can open and close. It's supposed to help to reduce wind buffeting on the helmet. It does work, it's just not a huge difference, but I mean, I like it. I toggle it occasionally, especially when it rains. And then on the 2015, they also added the quick release on the buckets here, which are fantastic. The old ones, you had to like unclip here, fold it, and then roll it open, which I wasn't too happy with. But on this one, it's great. All right, let's take her for a spin, see how she goes. Got a good sound. Maybe we'll take it on the freeway. And riding through the city on this thing is fantastic. Only thing that's kind of tough is lane splitting, which is illegal here anyways, but sometimes you got to do it to get around. But on this guy, it's just too risky, and I got these really wide highway pegs on here, which definitely don't make it easy. Alright, let's see if we can find something out here. Alright, while we're riding here, we can talk about this radio. The radio is actually surprisingly good. I mean, if you really like to listen to rap or country music, you're probably not going to hear it. You're probably going to want those stage 2 upgrades or whatever they're calling them. But for, listening to talk radio or listening to some rock, it really sounds great. Controls are super easy to use. The only thing I ran into is occasionally when I'm riding, the volume will lock. So like it just won't respond. And the only thing you can do is shut off the bike and then start it back up. But it works right away. I'm sure it's something they'll fix in a software patch, which you can actually just do via that USB that I showed you earlier. It's pretty cool. So you're not stuck with the same, glitchy software forever. I've already done one software update. Took me 5 minutes to download it, 10 minutes to install it. So pretty quick, and I'm a pretty tech savvy guy, so for me it was a cinch, but the average user easily could figure it out, so you don't have to spend that, you know, a couple $100 at the dealership or whatever they're going to charge you. All right, the suspension on this thing is great, love it. I had a 2008 Nightster before this. It was lowered pretty much all the way, so no room in the shocks, and man, I could only drive it for like 30 minutes before my back just started killing me. Let's gas up here, there we go. So yeah, this thing, it's nice and bouncy. I know I've said this to other people and they always think it's weird, but I actually feel that this is more maneuverable than my Sportster. You know, I can easily get around corners. It's just when it comes to squeezing through stuff, obviously I'm not going to fit, but I mean, it's just very easy going. And another thing I notice is when I'm riding around, you know, after an hour or so, my arms get really tired, and I've noticed that my arms have started getting a little bigger. I mean, this bike weighs, I think it's 950 pounds wet. I'm not really sure if that's the exact measurement, but I know it's pretty damn close. It's a heavy ass bike. My Sportster was around 450. I had a lot of stuff just taken off of it, but yeah, this bike, I'm definitely a fan. I've had it for about 3 months now. All right, let's go. I've had it for about 3 months. It's my daily driver. I ride it to work every day. I have to ride it in the rain occasionally, which it's really great. The single best part of this bike, without a doubt, is the anti-lock brakes. It's definitely saved me a few times. Actually, like the second day I had it, I was riding out to a bike show and it was raining. Some guy stopped in front of me, slammed on the brakes. If I was on my Sportster, I would have died for sure. On this thing, just slowly slowed down. I was able to give that guy in front of me the finger, so it all worked out. Oh, what's this guy doing? This bike has linked brakes. So basically, no matter what brake you hit, it's going to hit both of them. And that's all the way until you get below 25. So once you hit 24 miles an hour, your brakes are separate again. And you can really feel that once you hit that mark. I thought that was a pretty cool safety feature, because I like to use the highway pegs a lot when I'm on the freeway, and it sucks having to take your feet off when you're comfortable cruising down the road. Alright, this is the longest light ever. Yeah, if you're thinking about moving to Austin, don't. This is terrible. It's all traffic. It's 8:30 at night, and there's all these freaking cars out. Alright. Yeah, this bike, completely maneuverable. Like, you wouldn't expect it until you actually got on it. Until you're below about 5 miles an hour. If you really gotta cruise and go slow, man, this thing is hard. And that could just be from my inexperience on a bigger bike. Everything I've ever ridden has been in the 500 pound or less range. So, but I mean, I could take U-turns better than I could on my Sportster, and I don't know if that's because on the Sportster I actually had like mini apes, so my arms were in a different position for sure. Alright, let's close this up so it doesn't mess with the microphone. Hopefully we can get on the freeway here. I've only been here like 8 months or so, and I have no idea how to get anywhere. Luckily this thing has GPS. It works fantastic. The keyboard on this, which I don't know why they do it, but it's alphabetical. It's not a QWERTY keyboard. I'm sure somebody at Harley thought that was a good idea, but I think it was stupid. And here we are at a traffic light again. The bars, I'm actually thinking about putting 12-inch apes on this, which would kind of put the bars about right here. But I've heard a lot of people saying that you stick with the stock bars as long as you can, because once it gets cold out, you know, your hands are going to be blocked by the fairing, which I really like that now. Riding down the freeway, you know, whatever the temperature is, I can't really feel anything against my chest or my hands, which is nice because I do like longer rides. And plus, you know, I drive it every day, so yeah. All right, why don't we see where 183 goes? All right, so horsepower. A lot of the things you'll see, or they'll try to sell you when you get to the dealership, is more horsepower. So, you know, the upgraded pipes, which, I mean, I think you should do anyways. And like the stage 2 kits for the engine. I mean, to be honest, I don't feel like I need it. The only time I would like to have a little bit more power is when I'm riding with my wife. She's on the back. She's a pretty light girl, but trying to, you know, accelerate pretty quickly in 6th gear. I mean, you're gonna have to downshift if you want more speed. There's no way around it. But I mean, I'm pretty happy with the horsepower. I mean, if I goose it, I can, you know, I can really get moving if I need to. And if I drop it down to 5th and take off, yeah, I'm definitely going to be moving. Well, let me get over here. But horsepower wise, I think it's fine. This is the 103 in it. I don't remember exactly how much horsepower that is. I think it's somewhere around 90. But I mean, if you like to be faster than everyone else, then yeah, do the upgrades. But I mean, there's a lot better things you can put your money into on the bike. You know, like getting that bigger tire in the front, or, you know, upgrading your bars, getting, you know, cool accessories like this, which is all fairly cheap stuff. But yeah, man, leading into these turns, it's great. You know, all the stereotypes you hear about baggers, it's like driving a couch down the freeway, and you know, it's they're all true. They're definitely true. This is a freaking couch, but you know what? I love sitting on the couch. I love riding this bike. So I actually didn't get out and test drive any other bikes. I did a lot of research online. I looked at a bunch of YouTube videos, you know, talked to some people that own them. I knew that this was definitely the bike for me. It's, especially being a bigger guy. I'm 6'1", 250 plus pounds. We won't talk about that. But you know, I fit on it. Everything's the right size. Yeah, it's a great bike, and it's also, it's definitely a conversation starter. You go out to a lot of bike meets, or, you know, run into another person with a bike, they definitely want to ask you questions. A lot of people ask me to open the saddlebags back here. They want to see, you know, how much storage they fit. But yeah, you know, all in all, I love this bike. Normally I'm the type of person that, you know, if I get something new, like a new car, or, you know, a new piece of electronics, you know, 6 months later, I want a new one. With this one, I'm gonna keep this bike for years, as long as, you know, I get to put, you know, as long as I can afford to put some accessories on it. The next thing, I think we're probably gonna do the 21-inch wheel. The reason why I'm going with the 21 instead of like the 23 or bigger is I really like the way the stock fender looks. So I'm gonna stick with that. If you go any bigger, you have to. Oh, you know what? Let's go here. Let's get off. If you go any bigger, you have to get like an aftermarket fender. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to change the look of the bike completely. But if you do the 21, you can just basically buy these spacers, which are just a couple of bucks each, and it just aligns the the new tire with that fender, so you don't have to switch it up too much, which I think would be great. You know what? We're actually over by my work now. So up here, I'm going to take a U-turn. We're going to head back home. But yeah, my goal is to kind of do a bunch of videos like this on different bikes. Yeah, I really want to get into riding some more of the sport bikes and maybe some of the adventure bikes, just to really kind of show a different perspective on it. I don't have 5 different Harleys in my garage, and I haven't ridden every bike ever made, so coming from a first-time user, I think that'll be a good kind of a good viewpoint to see, because I know I did, like I said earlier, I did a ton of research online. I swear I think I saw every first ride video. There was actually some debate for me on which bike I wanted to get originally, because I really like my Sportster, like I said, but it was just way too small. So I thought about the Road Glide. I really like that, but there's just something about the fairing not moving that just kind of drives me nuts. I don't like it. And I looked at the Softails, but I mean, I like listening to music, and I bring a lot of stuff with me wherever I go places, so it had to be some sort of bagger. I mean, you can put bags on a Softail, obviously, but to be honest, I don't think they look good with bags. And I really like listening to music and podcasts and stuff, and I can do that on this bike and be perfectly fine. And I could have a podcast be going 80 miles an hour on the freeway and hear every word, through a full covered helmet. So I'm super pleased with it. Oh, this turn is nice. I've never actually been on this road before. This is kind of a fun turn. Another kind of dislike for me, while I remember, is the light in front. It's not as bright as I would like. I mean, that's why you see a lot of guys doing those running lights, which is basically the headlight and then one lamp on each side of that. And those do make a pretty big difference. I've seen a couple guys riding around here with them. But yeah, if that was a little brighter, I'd be happy. I mean, right now I just have the stock lamp in there. If you just bought, like the Daymaker for this bike, I mean, that would be more than enough. That thing is ridiculously bright. I had a set, or I guess I had one on my Nightster, and the thing was great. I mean, if I get the extra money, that's definitely going to be on the list. I would like to do the Daymakers with the running lights though, so you have 3 of them. It should be pretty cool. Alright, let's not take the freeway home. Alright, look at all these cars. This is what I'm talking about. It's 8:40. Where are these people going? Like, you should be at home or in another state. But yeah, that's a problem with Austin. So basically, somehow this city got really popular. I don't know how, and people keep moving here. They just like non-stop, and it's usually people from Colorado or California. Me and my wife, we moved from Minnesota. Oh, see, this is what happens here. Guy doesn't have his lights on. Fucking asshole. Oh, the horn. Fucking love this thing. It sounds like a freight train. It's so much louder than what you just heard. I can guarantee that. Alright, but yeah, Texas, not really known for great driving. I'm pretty sure that here you don't have to actually take the driving test. I don't know if that's true or not. My wife mentioned something along those lines. Alright, what else do we need here? Navigation screen. I like this because there's actually two ways you can use it. You have these hard buttons on the right, which are kind of quick set. Actually, 3 ways. You have the finger controls here, which work flawlessly, and then you can actually touch it. Now my gloves are they have the touchscreen kind of pads in them, so I'm not sure if this will work with any glove, but I'm pretty sure that they have I think it's a capacitive touchscreen. I don't know, I don't have my nerd hat on right now, so but yeah, it works great. I wish the screen was a little bit brighter, but I could see why they didn't do that. It would be a little distracting. But yeah, everything works really cool. I can, you know, adjust around with my fingers here. Really get to anything that I need. You know, I can go back here. There's a home button on the left. Oops, I gotta jump past this light. I see there's that horsepower I was talking about. It's there if you need it. Yeah, your home button, you got all your different buttons on here. You can, you know, easily adjust all this stuff when you're riding. You shouldn't, but you can if you like to live dangerously. Alright, let's slow down here. I don't know if you can see this in the video, but there's actually a gear selector, which is one of the huge reasons why I got this bike. I mean, there's obviously other bikes that do that, but I lose count a lot when I'm riding. I forget to count gears, and then I end up just having to shift all the way to first, which is such a rookie mistake, but something I can't really get over. You know, I still try to count, you know, every time on the bike, but you know, I'm at least gonna forget once or twice while I'm out on a ride. Is this a bike behind me? Nope, that's that guy with one headlight. Alright, we're almost home. It cost me about 15 bucks, I'd say. That's rounding up, to fill up the tank from just about empty. It's about $2.50 for gas right now, maybe a little bit higher. Gas mileage is pretty good. I honestly didn't think it would be this good. I mean, considering this bike has the equivalent engine of a Honda Civic. But I mean, I don't always ride the most economically. I give it a little bit more gas than I should, and I downshift a lot. Let me get over before this guy kills me. But yeah, pretty great gas mileage. I'd say about 32, maybe a little bit higher. I mean, somebody who's pretty good at keeping their hand off the throttle is probably going to get a lot better than that. But I like to go fast, safe but fast. One other thing, these floorboards, they're extremely comfortable. I have a pretty large foot. I'm about a 12.5, and my foot fits on there perfectly. It's just how they're kind of wobbly. I mean, it's honestly, I don't even think the average person would notice it, but if you're a nitpicker like I am, yeah, that's kind of annoying. And the other, I guess this was about 2 weeks ago, I got stopped at the dealership. The guy was on a Honda Goldwing, and he just sold his Ultra, his Ultra Limited, and he was saying, I had to get rid of it. I want to go on these long rides, and I want something extremely comfortable. And he was looking at my bars, and he's like, "Doesn't that bother you?" And he's talking about how hard the bars shake. And I was like, I don't. It doesn't bother me at all, because I am on a motorcycle, and being reminded of that isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. I love a Goldwing, and if I ever get money, I will definitely have one in my garage without a doubt. But I want to be on a motorcycle. I want it to be loud. I want it to be a little obnoxious. I want it to vibrate. So that argument just doesn't make sense to me. I don't want to ride a Prius. I want a motorcycle. I want it to be loud, like I said. But yeah, that's that. Yeah, these controls, it's pretty dark out. I don't know how well the camera's capturing this, but it's pretty visible. I can always see the miles per hour, how much gas I have. So no complaints there. It is backlit. Hopefully you can see that. So are these buttons on the display here. So definitely easy to see. The only thing, these other controls, like the blinkers and the lights and stuff, it'd be nice if those were illuminated, but if you're on the right screen, or even if you change your background to gray, which you can do, it's pretty customizable, you'll be able to see that stuff pretty well at night. But if you're picky about that stuff, those are the things that may catch on. For me, not really a big deal. I'm pretty good at remembering where everything is by touch. But yeah, I'd really like to know what bikes people out there would want to see me ride, and basically just give reviews on, because hopefully I'll have access to a lot of bikes coming up here. I want to stay more towards the cruiser end, just because I just want to ride them. As simple as that. But I do plan on trying to get my hands on like the new RX-4 that just came out, or some of the Kawasaki bikes. Really anything they'll let me ride, to be honest. Yeah, there's a lot of good bikes out there, and I would like to make this kind of my my main deal. I want to ride bikes and write about them, and anything I can do to have fun while I'm working. So yeah, let's give this a little bit of horsepower here. Oh yeah. Yep, definitely moves. Definitely moves. Let's get around this guy. And the thing about this bike is that, man, that lane change and getting up to speed, just completely effortless. I mean, in the low gears, it really feels like you're riding a supercar. I mean, it'll throw you back for sure, especially if you're a smaller guy or girl. But luckily, I'm a little more meaty than the average person, so I can hang on. Yeah, the braking, I think, it's got to be the best part of this bike for sure. In my Sportster, it was so light. I mean, I'm a pretty big guy, but still, braking on that thing quick, it was always kind of a gamble. I never knew if my back tire was going to lock up. And that's another thing that if you're worried about braking, then you're always going to want to make sure that you have a bike, or I'm sorry, a rear tire that's got enough tread on it. If you're worried about that, it's just going to make your riding experience suck. So when I'm on this, as you can see, I try to stay safe. I keep enough distance between myself and the next car, but I can't be 100% all the time, and I'm not worried about it at all on this bike. It's really is a great experience, and if you're asking me if you should get one, without a doubt. I mean, if you're on the shorter side, I'd say like 5'5", 5'6". This thing's gonna suck. I mean, you can get it lowered, but I mean, then you're really ruining the comfiness of the bike. But I mean, if that's what you like, do it. But what was this guy got? Oh, that was nice. I think that was an Ultra. Maybe it was a Street Glide. I don't know. It's pretty dark. Yeah, if you're a shorter person, it may be a little more difficult for you, but I mean, there's ways around that. You can take off the floorboards, you can lower the floorboards. You can definitely get a thinner seat. I know that's one thing that's kind of rough for me, because like I said, I'm 6 foot tall, and this seat's so thick that sometimes I can't get my feet flat on the ground. But really not that big of a deal for me. But yeah, if you're asking me if you should get it, I would say do it. You know, obviously do your research first. You know, watch other YouTube videos. You know, ask that one friend that we all have that knows a lot about motorcycles. But yeah, that's my advice to you. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what other bikes you want to see me ride, and I'll try to get my hands on them and make a video here shortly. Appreciate it, and take care.